What is up, guys? It's Doodoo Poker here, back with another video. Today we are going to be talking about a 3-bet pot out of position turn concept versus a double barrel. In this hand, I have Jack 10 of spades, and I am in the hijack IRFI, and my opponent, who is on the button, 3-bets. We take a flop, and the flop comes King of diamonds, 5 of spades, 2 of spades. Now, my opponent went very small with his 3-bet sizing. He went 6 big blinds. A solver, let's follow along on a solver. A solver is going to go 7.5, so we should be wider than theory. We take a flop of King of diamonds, 5 of spades, 2 of spades. Now, in theory, imposition is splitting between bet 33 and bet 50%. My opponent is probably ranging for 1/3, and he did bet small in this spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into GTO Wizard Elite, and I'm going to choose just one sizing for my opponent. I'm going to choose the 1/3 sizing. And when he ranges for 1/3, I have my Jack 10 of spades. I can either check raise or call, and I decide to call. Now let's take a turn. We see on the turn, I pick up a pair, so a 10 of diamonds. So I have a flush draw and second pair. Now this is a very important concept here. My opponent bets almost pot. He goes 41 into 43, so almost pot, around 95% pot. Now in theory, this is not a thing. If you go 1/3 on the flop and the turn is a 10 of diamonds, if you look at a solver, it only goes around 50%. It's not going any higher than 75. When my opponent goes 95%, we notice something from the solver. When I node lock this to a 95% bet, what do you notice from the range composition? Actually, before I ask you that, I'm going to show you MDA for flop and now on the turn. So on the flop, what we see is that imposition versus under the gun and hijack, they are around GTO percentages for C-bet frequencies, 77%, and that's right around GTO. Now we go to the turn, and we compare the field as the 3-bet pot, imposition, pre-flop, razor, cutoff versus button. I know in game it was hijack versus button, but I just wanted to show you that the double barrel is underdone. They under double barrel. But just because the population does something less than GTO does not mean all hand classes are the same. What do I mean? I mean, if you look at theory, you see a hand like ace-7 of clubs, no equity, always barreling. You see a hand like 8-7 of hearts, always barreling, no equity. Players are not going to find these no equity hands. What players are going to find are the natural barrels. The natural barrels are flush draws. Now, when I go and put 95% into the button sizing, what do you notice? Look at a hand like ace-jack of spades. It never bets. It's a mistake to bet ace-jack of spades for the sizing. It's a mistake to bet ace-jack of diamonds for this sizing. What about queen-9 of diamonds, queen-9 of spades? Look at all these hands that are huge combo draws. Queen-jack, open-ender, and a flush draw. Never bets turn. Never bets turn. It's a mistake when you use that sizing. It's almost a 3 big blind mistake. Do you think people are checking back hands like queen jack of spades and queen jack of diamonds on the turn? Never. Never. Unless they understand the spot. But if he understood the spot, he wouldn't go 95%. He would go more geometric. Now, in game, when he goes that big, and we understand that they over barrel flush draws, what do you do? What do I do when my opponent over barrels a hand like ace-4 of diamonds, ace-jack of spades? Oh, he can't have ace-jack of spades, but how about ace-queen of spades? What I need to do is I need to node lock all these hands that aren't barreling, and I need to make him bet all these flush draws. So let's go into another node lock sim where I node lock all the flush draws to bet turn. Now what do you see from me? If button bets all his flush draws on the turn, look at my response. I never call. I'm never calling turn. I'm only jamming or folding because there's too many bad rivers for my range. If he has all flush draws, I need to push my equity. I need to push my pair equity, and I need to push even a hand like King X. So my King X equity, and let's say I have a hand like I have Jack 10 of spades. What should I do? I should not call. Most people would call here. You do not want to do this. What you want to do is you want to realize that even though they under triple or double barrel in percentages, their range composition is much different from theory. Their range composition is mostly flush draws and hands like Queen Jack suited. So what we do in this spot is instead of calling, we have a no calling range and we only fold or we jam. So when he bets 95% pot, I jam all in and he calls me with all flush draws. And now on the turn, I'm a 70% favorite and we scoop the pot. So this is a very important concept on double flush draw boards. Let's go over this in summary. So on the flop, we know that they c-bet similar to GTO. On the turn is where they mess up. They under barrel relative to GTO, but they over barrel flush draws. This is very important. It's magnified on the double flush draw board. You need to be jamming your pairs. Any pair you jam on the turn because you want to put all his flush draws in very tough spots. So on the double flush draw board, when we have Jack 10 of spades, you should never call turn. What you want to do is turn your whole range into a jam or fold. And like in this hand, he called me with ace jack of diamonds. And we're a 70% favorite and we win. All right, guys, if you like this type of content, please give me a like. Please give me a subscribe. New video every single day, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.